Later today, the White House will host an economic summit, and some of the folks here will be attending. But I doubt that some of the things we'll talk about today will be talked about at President Obama's summit. Unemployment rate is still over 10%. Over 3 million Americans have lost their jobs since the stimulus bill was signed into law. And as a former small businessman myself, I know what it takes to meet a payroll. And I can tell you that the policies being proposed by this administration and their Democrat allies here in Congress are causing employers to sit on their hands. They've got a stimulus bill that's not working, spending that's out of control, deficits that are out of control, a national energy tax, and now the government takeover of healthcare is causing employers to wonder what the policies here in Washington are going to mean to their future. And because all of these things are hanging in the air, business people are, frankly, sitting on their hands, trying to figure out how do I make the next move. But until Washington provides some certainty, I don't think they will. You have to remember that President Obama, Speaker Pelosi, and Majority Leader Reid have never run a business, much less ever had a real job in the private sector. So how would they know what it takes to create real jobs? And so the American people continue to ask, where are the jobs? And what we're going to do today is talk about ideas that Republicans have proposed and maybe some new ideas about how we can get the job creation machine, American small businesses, up and running again. With that, let me turn over to Larry Lindsay, former economic advisor in the Bush administration.
Thank you, Mr. Leader, for having us. I think it's great that you're taking this on. The employment situation is as bad as you say. There are some more troubling signs. More than half of all workers, for the first time ever, who are now unemployed, say their jobs are never coming back. They are. In the past, they've often been on layoff. That's no longer true. Folks in their 30s are taking this particularly hard. That's an age where folks move up most quickly in the labor market. And so we're laying the seeds for some real long-term problems down the road. I really don't think there's a moment to lose. I think we have to move aggressively toward policies that actually promote jobs. And so far, what's been tried hasn't worked very well.
Thank you all. It's no secret that unemployment is now over 10%, and 3 million Americans have lost their jobs this year alone. And the biggest problem that we heard from our economist with regard to why employers aren't hiring, it's all the job-killing policies that are being offered by this administration and this Congress, and creating an awful lot of uncertainty for American employers.
In the end, job creation in the United States is something that small businesses, entrepreneurs, and the private sector will do. But they cannot do it if they are burdened by a legacy of debt and the prospect of higher taxes to pay off that debt. And that is the most troubling aspect of the policies this administration is pursuing.